Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Culture Review. That's right. It is July 31st, one day until August 1st, the beginning of a new month, and just a few short weeks away from the FNT get-together in Vegas. And this is going to be coming on the heels of an incredible Anime Matsuri panel set. Let me tell you, those were great to watch yesterday. If you didn't get a chance, they're up available on Geeks and Gamers and some other channels as well. And I have to tell you, I mean, you could not be more excited for somebody like Eric July. And we're going to talk about all of that towards the end of the show. But for right now, let's just introduce everybody, say hi to you guys, and then we'll start on our first subject, which will be Amazon's attempt at 25% different, Lord of the Rings. So first off, we've got my buddy here. His name's Mirasphere's Origin, and he wrote a book.
Hey guys, I did. I did. Yeah.
How's it going? Good?
Good. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah.
All you see. It's beautiful. Lovely.
Lovely. All right.
Just have fun. Enjoying life.
Well, we were talking about the joys of being a creator in the background, and Wes is contributing to creations, Machini's contributing to creation, Mirasphere's contributing to creation.
So many.
Yeah, it's amazing in our sphere how many people are making things. And guess what? That's good. Let's make more stuff. Speaking of making more stuff, the man, the myth, the monetized.
Oh
Look at this, right in the center square now. He is Machini Draws. My buddy, Machini.
Yeah, first thing I want to let's get this out of the way. I don't know how many times I can say thank you. I don't feel like I can't say thank you enough. This last week has been just a roller coaster of emotions for me. I am truly still thinking about it. I'm going to be thinking about this for the rest of my life. And I am just absolutely just in awe that we did what we set out to do. We made it across the finish line, and now we're officially monetized like culture, like so many other people. We can be able to do the super chat thing. We could do it. It's just there's so much meaning behind this for me. It's just being able to set and achieve what I was able to set out to do. So we're not celebrating just yet.
No.
We're going to wait until August 21st. It's going to be the 2-year anniversary of Machini Live. That's when we'll do the real celebration. However, right after this show is, of course, the main show, Machini Live, and it will be the first Machini Live under where we're officially 1,000 and monetized. So this will be the post 1K Machini Live now. And we have special guest Megan Lay of the Noob Review stopping by.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be setting up just for her.
Megan's awesome. We had her here on the Sunday Culture Review. She's great. What a great new addition we have to our little corner of the internet. So all right, we'll check that show out later. Absolutely. Folks, over on Machini Draws stream. Of course, the two longest panelists I've had, of course, Machini's been here a long time too, but it is AFK and Wes. Now we'll start with AFK. AFK, what are you working on other than being hot?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, thanks. Other than being incredibly hot, like everybody else probably across the United States right now, I'm actually not doing much. I'm still waiting for my computer. My brother-in-law's been busy He's super cool.
Nice.
He actually goes out and is a literal knight. He goes to run fairs and he's got armor and he jousts and stuff.
Cool.
So he's kind of been doing that instead of my computer. But,
well, hopefully he becomes a knight for you. And
right.
That's right. But that sounds like fun. I like that. That would be a fun gig.
Yeah, that'd be cool as hell.
Oh yeah. It's ridiculous. He's very proud of his armor and swords and whatnot. And he does his knights do those kind of like dinner things where you can like go have dinner and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So very, 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 very much like medieval times. So that's
yes, cool. Yeah, just like that. So.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, AFK. Appreciate you being here and your contributions as always. And last but not least, this guy down here. He's been through it, folks, and he's been through it many times. He's had his throat stepped on by the U of tubes. And Mama Susan is not a fan, but he is like a mole and keeps popping back up in different places and in different ways. So, Wes, what's going on, brother?
Well, always a pleasure to be here on the Sunday Culture Review. And you can't keep a good YouTuber down. And Mama Susan, as I always like to say, F you, YouTube, but thank you for the platform. So that's kind of my relationship with YouTube. Regardless if it's whatever cast or guesting, I'm going to continue. And I am working, as you alluded to earlier, on my animated series, Conspiracy Chronicles. We're doing the first season, 10 episodes is what we're looking at. I'm on episode 5 right now. I'm almost done with it. So we will officially be past the halfway mark. I actually wrote 10 pages of it last night, if you can believe it.
I do. That is so awesome. And if you, I'm not going to, I am not overselling this material. It's great. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. If you're one of Wes's Patreons, actually, don't you get like a little bit of like insight into what you're working on?
In fact, you get insight and you can actually see me write it in real time and see what that process is. And I'll comment and opine and kind of give insights into the process. I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version here, though. You do not allow yourself to get blocked. If you get stuck, you either keep going or you walk away. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah. And then return back when you have a fresh thought, which will occur to you in the weirdest place. Could be a porta potty in South Dakota. You don't know. But anyway,
I
was waxing my car and that's when I came up with a killer idea. So,
you get unblocked in a couple different ways. Anyway, all right. Well, we need to get started. Saying hi to everybody out there. We've got, of course, Apollonies Minion. What's up, Apollonies? Good to see you. Yeah, Jerry Mendoza's out there. Good to see you, my friend. And we got Mirasphere. He's on the panel. We got Hank VP in the house. We got Dr. Dragon here. Greetings from the Midsummer Scream Convention. Wow, I hope that's awesome, Dr. Dragon. You'll have to inform. OC Dobbins, it was a great pleasure to hang out with you not that long ago. Hopefully you'll continue to pop up on member streams. We've got Emotionally Unstable Amphibian here, Christian Delorme. What's up, brother? We got, let's see, who else is in the house? Oh, Eric K. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well, feeling good. Floral's here saying, boom shakalaka, indeed.
Boom shakalaka.
That's right. Keely Chow is here. Roll Tide, Keely Chow. Roll Tide. Judicon. What's up, brother? Good to see you. So many other folks rolling in the door. We got Joker Voice out there. Hello.
Joker Voice.
Hello. Yeah, keep talking, everybody. We got D-Bud Martin hanging out with us today. Small Time Republic. Chris Mead's here. What's up, Chris? I see Culture as Doogie Elrond in the thumbnail. Yeah, that could have been Doogie Elrond. It does look like Doogie Howser, kids, if you ever remember that television program.
I do, yeah.
Jin Wong is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are staying well, safe. Let's see who else is here. Andrew, 46 and 2. Good to see you. We've got Tina Bochin in the house and Das Wulfin. Yeah, the lovely Tina Bochin. If she graces your channel, you know you have quality content.
Yes, that is a bona fide factor.
Absolutely.
It's on the avatar. We got Zach. What's up, Zach? Brightest day out there in the world. Jaffo is here. What's up, brother? Hope things are going well. Darius Munchausen, who also dropped a Super Sticker, which is, of course, a box of popcorn. Mazit Wad, or Mazit Wizard, is out there. What's up? I love the avatar. Oh, man, for whatever reason, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is that great. that great. Okay, right, he says. And as Hank VP reminds us all, karate with infinite patience. Indeed. In fact, that show's coming up tonight. We have the late night culture stream. It'll be starting at, I think, 8:30 p.m. on the West Coast and 3 hours later on the East Coast. So that's 11:30 p.m. So stay up late, kids, because I'm past my bedtime, at least at that point anyway. But yeah, we're stoked for that. We got other folks here. Morgan King is hanging out. We got, oh, hey, it's the Shirt. What's up, Mr. Shirt? Just another red shirt's with us. Good to see you, brother. Got to get you popping in a stream at some point here in the future. Zacharot 315 is hanging out with us today. We got a few other folks popping in. Oh, including Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. Wes is the redheaded stepchild of the YouTube.
Ooh.
I think I'm the redheaded stepchild of life. I think that's just the way it is.
But you're not redheaded, though. That's the thing.
Jin Wong is asking everybody a question. Says, may I ask the panel and chat for help? RE the comic. I have been working for the past 9 months. I'm looking for proofreaders before the book goes to print. Thank you all. Indeed. And again, I will offer to do that. I know Wes will do that. I know, so yeah, just reach out. And if you're interested in doing that, reach out to Jin Wong, folks. And, I'm sure he'll be happy to pass that info along. So of course you can do that. We got Pops in the house. I'm scheduled to be on Pops's channel this month, coming up here in the near future, so pretty stoked about that. We Feliato.
I hope Pop stays tuned. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. We got the Peter Venkman fan site here. Great to see you. We've got deleted scenes in the house. We got Mighty Orbots. Midnight Mike is in the house. I love saying hi to everybody. Ryan Cannell Elrond. That's another one. Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. You put a little rouge on Ryan's cheeks and shave his beard, and you got it. Yeah, indeed. Let's see who else. We got some other folks. Oh, Rob Altus is here. Good to see you, my friend. Lots of folks rolling through. You guys are the best. Marby Dog, what's up? Yeah, let's talk stuff. You guys want to talk stuff? Hey, War Monkey.
We got some stuff to talk about.
We got some stuff.
Oh, yes, we do.
Got Low Spec in the house. How do I DM somebody here? You don't, unfortunately. What you do is you
Twitter.
You open yourself up and let people hit you via Twitter handle. Yeah, and then go from there. So let us know if you need help with that. But let's get the show started. Let's start someplace. You guys want to start someplace?
Let's start.
Okay, so what we're going to start with is the infamous Cheeto face. That's right. We're going to start with this story from Bounding Into Comics, which is Berserkus Circus, in my opinion. Yeah. See, this is how you get hold of whatever cast right there.
Is she like on like Blade Runner or something? It's like some kind
I don't know.
Fantasy,
again,
sci-fi. I don't know.
To be honest with you,
Is it Mars?
Kind of looks like Mars, yeah. This is what she'd look like if you were on Mars. There you go, yeah.
Maybe.
She reminds me of that episode of DS9 with like the illegal immigrant people coming through the wormhole. Remember that episode? Bueller? Never mind. It's not.
Nerd.
All I know is that this is an interesting way to do ashes, because that's what this is supposed to be. But we'll get into it. Setting aside the imagery there, which again is not exactly in context, but I thought it was funny because I think when I heard Gary say Cheetos, I was like, oh dang,
Total Recall.
Yeah, it looks like
Total Recall. Yeah,
that was what Bob said.
Anyway, we'll keep going. Here we go. So the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power showrunner Patrick McKay attempts to address concerns show will embrace modern woke politics. Well, I wonder why. I mean, you only have everybody in the show saying representation, blah, 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 wokey.
We're the first of this. You're not.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think that to be fair, if you want to go for modern politics, that picture does look like it was filmed in San Francisco in 2020 when we had that
the
orange sky.
Yeah, that was really cool. Though. I liked your orange sky. I was a little jealous. I was like,
like Babe Runner. It was much better up north over in Portland, Washington, where Shellback was, because it was blood red.
I've been to countries where the sky does turn orange.
Yeah, Blood Red Sky.
Red
That was
sandstorm.
definitely not fun.
It's not hell.
Oh,
It's not hell.
Yeah, she's definitely in a green screen volume. There's no doubt about it. But that's going to be the nature of the way that they shoot everything from now on. But and here's it. This is true. Yeah, join Gilded. That's right. If you join my Gilded, you can send me messages. And look, I often say that you need to, if you've heard about our Lord and Savior Gilded, check that out. Join our Gildeds, folks. We've got them. I think mine's even in my description. And I also have some mods here that can drop it in.
Yeah, word on the street is that Tom of Midnight's Edge After Dark, he's the spokesperson of Gilded.
He is. Yeah, he is. Tom is the spokesperson of Gilded.
All right, so have a Gilded. So.
Let's get cracking on this. This will be fun to cover. So Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power showrunner Patrick McKay recently addressed fan concerns that the show will embrace modern woke politics in favor of Tolkien's actual writings. Do you know how we know that none of this is featuring any of Tolkien's actual writings? They don't have access to them. Yeah, they don't. There is no actual writings that they're going to be making this show from. This is the very definition of 25% different or more. So and again, I have no complaints with the sets. Once this gets proper correction, this might look better than we're getting in this still photograph. So I'm not going to react to out of context photographs, right? Because it doesn't actually matter. The things that people are going to react to are the fact that everybody is talking, that's part of the cast around the show, how it's been advertised, that again, it is a 100% woke version of fan fiction, which I guess into a lot of people, that's true. Yeah. I mean, if you listen to people who know and who have had every episode of the first season described to them by the people that have been involved in the production, they are telling you accurate, third-hand information. And every time we get those kinds of like translations of what we're about to see, they've been really, really accurate, especially the last 4 or 5 years. So, but I'll continue to read. So it says, fans have made it abundantly clear that they are extremely concerned about this. Yeah, that's an understatement. For instance, YouTuber Just Some Guy took issue with the show's casting, saying in a YouTube video, the point of Tolkien stories is to be English in design and effect. That's 100% true. And Middle-earth reflects that in its cultures, languages, and the appearance of its races. To change this, to remove the Englishness or really the whiteness from Tolkien's stories, is to undermine the very purpose of his works. And and like I said, that's well stated by somebody who is also not white. So it's an interesting perspective that I think a lot of people should reflect on. So
yeah.
But YouTuber The One Ring recently expressed his concerns about the portrayal of Galadriel and Muriel in the recently released trailer for The Rings of Power. His criticism focused on a single image of Galadriel and Muriel meeting in what appears to be Numenor. As part of it, he noted Amazon is actively changing Tolkien's work to reflect the worldview that they want to create rather than what Tolkien created. And I think that's at the center of everybody's argument. So far, guys, what are your thoughts as we're not even done with the article, but where do you fall on this?
Exactly. They literally believe they are better than Tolkien. That is why they are undermining everything. Plus they don't own the rights. So what they're doing is pretty much Amazon got the rights to what the Expended Sea letters, and they're saying, well, what they said in their little interview was like, well, he didn't say this, so we think that he might have, so we're gonna write it in there anyways. No, you write what Tolkien fucking wrote. This is why I have so much problems with these people taking stuff. What I call this, what I say, what this would be like if some rich dude bought the Mona Lisa. Took the Mona Lisa, hired some third-rate artist who took the Mona Lisa, took another version, and painted it in shit, and tried to sell it for the same price the Mona Lisa would be sold for, and tell everybody, fans of art that no, there's no difference between the two. This is the Mona Lisa, even though it smells like shit, looks like shit, and your artist is a third-rate hack. This is a freaking whatever. What do they call them? A bad reboot fucking people. So here we go again.
Well, it's infuriating for me, but go ahead, Mark.
First off, Mirrosphere, if that's how you really feel about me, then I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
I wasn't a directed attack.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Damn,
No. What I was going to say earlier was that it doesn't help that I think the actress who is playing the black female dwarf is up here touting about, how important this is for representation and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's a clear case that it's not just that you don't understand Tolkien's mythology, you hate Tolkien's mythology, you hate Tolkien's lore, and you want to change everything about it because it's problematic in your eyes. That's what I get. There's an underlying theme of cynicism. There's an underlying theme of cynicism.
Can I just say
everything that they say?
It bugs me that they made the black female character a dwarf. It's like, if you're trying to be like empowering and like, all that kind of stuff, I mean, like, that's kind of like low on the scale of characters that you could create,
So yeah, what's pictured here is, since you were making that analogy, Mirrosphere, there actually was a very old painting from, I believe, the 16th century that this church commissioned this woman to touch up the painting, this priceless 16th century painting, and the result is on the right. She painted over the painting on the left. And
what?
No, that was an accident. Like, legit. She tried to clean up the picture and started messing it up, and then she tried to quote unquote fix it. Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it?
That's basically the summation of the Rings of Power, I assume.
But that was probably what the original artist intended it to look like.
You think so?
Look at those friendly eyes on the right.
I know, right? Very friendly.
Very Jesus, very Christ-like.
I know.
Dear God.
What do they call that?
Yeah, this stuff.
I kind of feel bad for that artist though, because you gotta realize when she screwed up the first time, she's like, "Oh shit, I am so dead."
That is
not a fix.
It just kept getting worse and worse. And she's like, "Oh."
I think that summarizes up the just kind of how everybody feels about the Rings of Power right now. It's just,
well, but see, we've all been presented a picture of what this is to these people in various ways, right? This is an interesting take from Pinochet's Helicopter Tours for $2. Thanks for sponsoring today's show, Pinochet. For $2 says, from universities to media, the left's hubris is to blame. Well, I would say the extremist left. Yes, I agree with you.
Sheer effing hubris.
Yeah. I mean, there is a level of conceit involved in everything right now, from politics to media, technology, et cetera, et cetera. It cannot be denied, right? And vanity and conceits are often the hardest petards to fall upon. And I think that a lot of these entities are already having their falls, and we're kind of, chronicling them as they happen. I mean, we're going to get into the conversation around phase 4 of the MCU and the dwindling performance of the mega blockbuster tentpole in something that should have been somewhat fail-proof. But we'll get to that. We're going to talk also about a little bit about this DC animated film. But I look at these things and I'm beyond frustrated. But let's finish this article up to the extent that we can, and then I'm going to ask you for your conclusions of what you think the rangs are going to be. So they believe that their worldview is actually better than Tolkien's, he explained. And Tolkien's worldview was of Middle Earth. It was influenced by who he was, but it wasn't like he was trying to inject his politics into Middle Earth. He was writing what he knew. and what he knew was based on him going to World War I and him marrying Edith. His worldview wasn't to be a political activator. It wasn't to be someone who was influenced the times. He wrote Middle Earth out of the love of writing Middle Earth and out of the love of mythology and out of the love of the language, the wondering details. Crazy well stated there. That is really
Very well stated.
Yeah. So
I don't know. It sounds kind of racist to me.
Sure. Yeah. He then points out that Galadriel and Muriel are taking on these roles in the trailer that they never did in any of Tolkien's works, and the reason for them to do so, to do this, is to push modern day feminism. Well, there's no argument to be made there. That's 100% accurate.
Yeah, there's no argument.
You can bet they read what Tolkien wrote, and they probably immediately knew that they thought it was better the way they wrote it. He stated, "Well, there you go." Because they could show the Queen of Numenor and they could show Galadriel, the most powerful elf, working together in a great singularity of girl power that they had to have based on Amazon's own projections of what the world should have looked like. And again, if you are making statements that this should have looked like this should have been like this, there should have been dwarves of color or whatever,
you fail immediately.
Yeah,
well, you're setting yourself up for failure.
They lose credibility, but
you lose credibility.
Yeah, I mean, and it's an ongoing issue with Amazon thing here.
Yeah, this is why everybody says Tolkien is for everyone. That's not true. I hate when people. It's open to everyone, but it's not for everyone. You know how they always say, this isn't made for you? Well, guess what? My wife doesn't like Lord of the Rings. You know how many times I try to get her to watch the movies and she would fall asleep in them? She doesn't like Tolkien. She doesn't like Lord of the Rings. That's fine. It's not made for her. It's made for fantasy fans.
That's right.
We've been fans for years, decades, more than decades. My parents were like...
Yeah, it's called genres for a reason.
Yeah, this thing is timeless. It's a timeless thing. It's not meant to be in a certain time period. It's meant to be timeless. And right now they're like, well, it doesn't reflect today's world. Well, it's not meant to, you fucking morons. It's a fantasy escapism. It's not meant to reflect anything to do with today.
Yeah, Theliato, I didn't see that, but I will definitely check that out as well. I want to continue because this is rather important. And again, Bounding's been doing some great coverage on this in conjunction with a lot of YouTube influence, and specifically Gary. Gary's been knocking it out of the park with his videos. But on top of these, and that's not, I'm not blowing smoke, kids. They're great videos. But anyway, on top of these and other fan complaints, executive producer for the show, Lindsay Weber, told Vanity Fair, it felt only natural to us that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect what the world actually looks like.
See, and this is where you immediately fall off with me. This is where you I immediately lose interest, and I immediately see this as there's no love behind it. There's no passion behind it. This is all about the message and all about reflecting what modern day society is and all about compelling to a general audience. This is actually antithetical to what Tolkien was doing at the time, and this is honestly going this route of adapting to reflect the world actually looks like today is disrespectful to his legacy and his work.
Yeah, and no, you're 100% right. And in service of that, obviously George the Giant Slayer put out a video I haven't seen yet this morning. I saw the notification. I haven't had a chance to watch it. But look, I mean, you have a collection of amazing creators that know the background, have read the Silmarillion, have read all of the books.
Silmarillion is so good.
Yeah, folks that have actually seen some of the letters and appendices and things like that that they're supposedly extracting this material from. And Tina says, I haven't read a Tolkien book or seen a Lord of the Rings adaptation. I look forward to watching the show as a piece of fan fiction without any expectations. I think it's a unique perspective for someone my age. Okay.
There you go.
That's fine, but it's still not Tolkien. This is Tolkien's world. This is Tolkien stuff. I cannot believe these fucking pieces of shit are taking Tolkien stuff and screwing with it. This is without him being like, if he was alive, fine. if he was alive and he said, no, you're fine doing this. But we know from letters that he hates adaptations. He hates fan fiction. He does not want people screwing with his world.
Would sign off on this.
No,
oh God, no. No, Christopher
no.
wouldn't have signed on that.
He's
That's why
yeah,
they
even
waited
Christopher
till he died.
Yeah,
They waited for him to die. And then the fucking Tolkien estate with a bunch of fucking sellouts took what they wanted and made a quick payday because they knew they could because Christopher died. And this is what I'm so afraid of my story. It becomes popular. And then now when I pass on, some fucking piece of shit will get the rights of my book and then sell it off.
Well, and that's actually where I was going to go with this question. You are a writer, you're a creator. Are you going to put at the back of your works that this information, this lore, and everything within it can only be edited or or adapted in conjunction with its true representation?
And it's going to be my will,
something like that. Yeah,
I'm putting in my will that my story only passed on to my children, and if they try to sell it off, they lose all rights to it immediately. And anyone that tries to take my adaptations and change the lore from anywhere from where I want it, they lose the rights completely. They will never be able to use my work to turn into some bastardization of a fucking movie or some show that does not reflect what I wanted. Period. Exactly. That's why I wrote this story.
You gotta.
I started this because I was so sick of the shit we're seeing now. I created my own world. That's what they need to do. Just create their own fucking world.
Yeah, write it out, do a good job, and make it worthwhile. London Test says, not to mention that it's being aired the day he died. Yeah, that's not lost on a lot of us, and that's absolutely.
It's not tasteful. That's not as tasteful as they think.
But again, this line here from Lindsay Weber. It felt only natural to us, and I've already read this. I'm going to do it again. It felt only natural to us that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect what the world actually looks like.
That's not.
Shouldn't it look like the world he created actually looks like?
Yes, Wes.
Yeah, no.
It's just like if Meospheres was reflected to what the world actually looks like, and that's not what he would have wanted. Then if the same thing was Ripperverse or any other beat is like built to not say if it's something I wanted to put out like Midnight Rush is reflected on what the world actually looks like. It's like, no, that's not what any of us would have wanted. Even if we're gone, that's not what anybody would have wanted. And I don't think that's what the viewers would have wanted. I think viewers would want to get more involved when they see this. When they see the show, they would want to get more involved with Tolkien's mythology, Tolkien's books, and adaptation stuff. Like one example I bring up is the creator of Bullet Train is very happy about the fact that it's getting adapted, and it's going to potentially get more people involved to want to read more of his books, to read more of that. And I think that's what you ultimately want to strive for, is to get more people involved in Lord of the Rings, in the Silmarillion, and everything that Tolkien created, to go and hunt down those books, watch those films, to get more involved in that universe, in that world, to become Tolkienites, to become Tolkien enthusiasts. Like he was, like many of the big Tolkien enthusiasts are.
Well, and again, I mean, this person is so this is like the most important person over these showrunners, right? Lindsay, right? It says Tolkien is for everyone. Yeah, there's no, again, you can identify with a character you don't look like, folks. I don't look like a freaking dwarf, or some people would argue I might, but I don't look like an elf. I don't look like an Aragorn. I don't look like these fabled heroes. Right. But what I do see is myself in those, and it doesn't matter. You know what I don't see? I don't see myself in characters that are written poorly, or Tolkien characters, not Tolkien characters, I should say. Anyway, she says, Tolkien is for everyone. His stories are about his fictional races doing their best work when they leave the isolation of their own cultures and come together. Kind of. That's part of it.
You're kind of off, but
you're doing it in a disingenuous way.
Yeah, it's a dishonest way.
What's up, Tom? And this is a great point by Jose Ribeiro. If I want to watch what the world is today, I watch the news. Yeah, and most people do. And actually, then that's a fabricated version.
Yeah,
a version of what's happening today.
No, right.
If you really want to see what the world looks like, you just step outside your door.
That's right. It's Tolkien, like in South Park. That's right, TZ. So
You
and
miss.
OC Dobbins, this is an industry person. So they're speaking here. Says these new creators are self-centered and are only creating for themselves and their own ideology and not the existing fan base. So they think they are better and they know better than all of us. I agree with you.
Yep.
And again, I mean, OC Dobbins, just awesome.
I think what it is just they miss, and it's not just with Rings of Power, but in general, what we've been seeing over the past couple of years, that you guys are missing the fundamental point of what escapism is about. You miss the fun. You on a fundamental level, you don't understand the meaning of escapism.
Yeah,
and this
again,
is an example of it.
This is
what it sounds like.
Yeah. It is. It's, and everybody said it in the chat. It's narcissism run amok at this point.
It is.
I mean, it's just, and that's, just to cut to the quick, that's what it is. I mean, in the fact that nobody calls them out for that extreme narcissism, like, well, this is my worldview, so we're going to recreate this work in my worldview. Well, then
but your worldview sucks. No one wants to.
It's true, but
sorry.
Apollomes says it's just lazy people taking someone else's work and effing it up just to add themselves to. I agree with you.
Yeah, they don't even do the work enough to know what they're talking about. Like the whole, like what Gary has said many times. They're like, it's not hobbits, they're Herofoots. That's just another type of hobbit. Yeah,
there's
right.
Like hobbit, you dingus.
You did not open the book, you fucking piece of shit.
They didn't. And Denbro Knox, this is a great statement, right? Because it speaks to the fact that there are people on this panel that didn't appreciate the Jackson films, right? When you try to make something for everyone, you make something for no one. So it happens. It honestly happens.
Yeah, the Jackson films were pretty good. They were great. They were like one of the best. And I understand that they missed. There was so much they left out. 1 second.
Yeah, and I think
to put simply,
I've tried. I've really tried. I'm sorry.
To put simply,
I feel like they're a snooze.
Put simply, when someone who is not familiar with Lord of the Rings at all has a fundamental understanding of Lord of the Rings than the showrunners for the Rings of Power, don't you think that's not a good sign? And I say this because I'm not familiar with Lord of the Rings as much as you guys are.
Right.
And yet it sounds like I probably know more about it than I understand.
You probably know more about it than the people that are trying to make this show. But
yeah,
I mean, this is one of those things that just make you crazy. They obviously based on what Amazon is telling you and the people with the money and the showrunners are trying to recover. And look, when you see thumbnails that say panic at Amazon and stuff, they're a little freaked out. This is one of the most, if not the most expensive projects ever undertaken by them that wasn't like physical construction of something.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the card, the base for all which everything future comes from them, from which everything comes. And so this foundation needs to be set in a group of people that are going to support whatever comes out of their studio going forward. They need success here. They don't need it financially because obviously Amazon's in great shape there, but they need a success when it comes to this video stuff. And if this is just universally panned, destroyed, and unwatched, it's going to be very bad. I can't look there. I am watching this show, right? I committed to it. I was asked to do so. I'm going to watch it.
Last Jedi.
And this possibly could elevate my channel and many others to peak, the peak levels, but maybe it won't. Maybe people won't want to hear 50 to 100 people saying this thing is, this, that, and the other, and giving their negative analysis of it. Maybe people want to hear something positive about it, but we'll see. It may just make a bunch of channels. So, and you know what? If I'm giving you content and Wes is giving you content and Scott over at Sporkin News is giving you content, guess what? That's not grifting.
Hell, man.
What's up? Nice segue there, my friend.
You came in. You came in at a beautiful point in time.
Okay.
Let me tell you
what's up?
Let me tell you
It's been a while.
It has.
AFK.
You came in
Woot,
at a
woot.
beautiful point in time. We were talking about the difference between what we're getting from the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power show versus what the showrunners are telling us we're going to get.
Oh God, they are. This is my own perspective on it, so I can only speak for myself. They have no clue what they're giving us. They don't know Tolkien, and they're gonna give us. They're lying. They're just straight up lying, dude. They're telling us they're keeping faithful to the books, to the books, to the books. I mean, that's one of their quote. Go back to the book. Go back to the book. Go back to the book. But yet they're creating new characters that Tolkien would not approve of, for the simple fact that, yes, guess what? Certain aspects, races of his people are all white because that's how they were like envisioned. This is an English mythology.
Yeah, geographically.
So it's geographically and it's medieval, so it's not like there has been a lot of cross-pollination of cultures yet. There are southern cultures that these guys could have touched base on. But my biggest question, and I asked it last night on the award-winning The Dump on Saturday nights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, award-winning now. Award-winning, yes. I'll talk about that later, maybe. But my question is this. Yes, you have a black elf. Whatever. How in the living hell in a medieval culture does he have a high fade like that?
It looks good.
It's impossible!
Yes,
Yeah.
Don Lemon look. Yes.
Look! The haircut is the least of the problems.
You-
with this
Yeah.
thing,
The
but,
thing is that like Scott, you know this because you're dealing with this as a George R.R. Martin fan,
Right,
You're
who
dealing
learned
with
from
this
him.
on your end, exactly.
I mean, he learned from Tolkien. Now, can you imagine they already did it with the Targaryens, which is, long story. It's not that he's black. It's that it messes with the idea of a paternity issue only to his grandchild. And when a Targaryen has a child outside of their own family because they're freaks, that child usually takes on the other culture's inherent looks. Like, so if it's Dornish, they look more Mediterranean. They may have purple eyes with like a blonde or platinum streak, but they have dark hair and dark features. Go ahead.
And no, I was going to add to what you're saying. And that's why the one line in the Game of Thrones series that you watched that was the most important was the seed is strong.
The seed is strong.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, Scott. Go ahead. Scott.
No. I think nails it right there. The seed is strong, meaning my children should have looked like me.
Yep.
And they don't. So that answers the whole question. Now, when we go back to Tolkien, they're doing it again for the sake. I'm sorry, I just got home from work and devoured some lunch, and I saw you were live, and I'm like, my family's not here right now. I can jump on. So the one thing that blows my mind is they don't take anything but today's political and social issues into consideration. So a black hobbit, fine, make a black hobbit, I don't care. Even a black elf, whatever. But a black dwarves live underground for the most part of their life. Pigment's not an issue.
Pigmentation. Yeah.
They don't need it.
And the other conversation is that there had never been a sunrise in Middle Earth, right? So if without a sun,
That's a burning tree, baby.
without a sun,
It makes no sense. I'm sorry to be hijacking, but we talked about this last night with Mark and Latino Slant on the show. Yeah. And we had people what we call the show, and you know this, we're the Friday Night Tights of diversity. Yeah. So we get views from guys that don't look at it as a bunch of white guys that sound racist. No. They also say this is ridiculous. You don't need to do this. This is something you could have worked around by going to different areas of that world, but you wanted to insert your, and I call it dominance. You wanted to insert your dominance on Tolkien, and you truly believe, like Dan and Dave thought they were better writers than George R.R. Martin. These people think they're better writers than Tolkien, and they're going to make it better, which blows my ever-loving mind, my friend.
Right. No, and for me, I mean, it's one of those weird situations where everybody can align on the side of the fans, because you can't make an argument for racism. It doesn't stick. It doesn't fly. You can't make an argument for putting modernity into this art of what should be considered antiquity at this point in time. You cannot place your modern sensibilities on something. You should
doesn't work here.
Well,
it simply doesn't work.
Look, I tell you what, if I were going to adapt a historical set of books, in my opinion, everything Edgar Rice Burroughs, that should be, those documents should be preserved, and if they're going to be adapted, it should be done faithfully. You're not going to change the bronze color of John Carter. You're not going to change the red-skinned Deja Thoris. You're not going to remove the green Martian Tars Tarkin.
And the problem is that they're not thinking this, and they're not thinking this long term. This is not going to age well 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line.
Next month.
When you're trying,
yeah,
that's the problem. You're taking older stories, older material, older fiction, and trying to put it in a modern lens. It simply doesn't work, because think about it, it is a product of its time. A lot of stuff is just simply a product of its time. That's why that's one of the reasons why it becomes timeless. That's one of the reasons why people can resonate, generations after can resonate with what was going on at that time. Yeah, tell me from a serious question, who is the next generation afterwards? After we're all gone, the next generation onwards, are they going to find anything to resonate?
No,
with the Rings of Power, absolutely not.
And that's
we're not even going to.
Yeah, well, and again, I mean, Ram Bam's right. 10 years, try 5 years. How about less than that?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're living in a weird place where you have a 2-year cycle of relevance if you're trying to dip in your toes into modernity, right? If you look at the things that last, the things that resonate with fans, fandom, whatever, it's traditional things. For example, why do you think ISOM is doing so well? Right? It's because it's a traditional comic book hero in a traditional way.
It looks like an old comic book hero.
Yeah, it does. And do you know what? Nobody cares what, melanin content the, primary superheroes, skin is. Nobody, that's the least of the conversation. It's a dive into that, right?
But are they gay?
Nobody cares.
Is it going to be but that's not
the only one who cares are the haters.
It may be relevant now, but years down the line, even months down the line, it's not going to be. It simply is not going to be relevant.
You're 100% right. There's no argument to be made against that. Speaking of which, we have a couple of supers I want to get to before we trek on, because we got more to talk about. Trek. That's another thing that's destroyed forever. Anyway, Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5 says, would Amazon spite fans by canceling Terminal List Season 2 over any backlash of Lord of the Rings? Of course that wouldn't stop. Of course they can cancel it. They can do whatever they want. Would Amazon stoop that low to spite people if ROP Rings of Power is a dud? No, they of course they would stoop that low. Are you kidding? This show is reportedly Bezos's baby. So if you throw
hilarious when it bombs and he's just out there like screaming.
That baby is throwing up. That baby is just like throwing up everywhere.
I think people are going to throw that baby out with the bathwater. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. But hey, taking that analogy too far. But look, Scott Westbrook for $5 says, great discussion, great panel as always. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate that for $5. Scott's awesome. Thanks for being there. We got Ram Bam, 3,000 for 10 pounds sterling. This is proper money, folks. This is actual real money. It is. It's fancy money. Make yourself feel better. Go watch Born of Hope and its follow-ups, made by fans on a minuscule budget, but is still better than this Amazonian abomination. Hey,
can I?
What is Born of Hope?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
Can I interject just one thing? Mm-hmm. And I think there's another thing that brings up. Think about budgets. Seriously, serious talk. Think about budgets of a lot of stuff and how they feel and such. A lot of stuff that has a limited budget ends up doing a lot better nowadays, because there's a lot more there's a lot more.
You actually have to think and love.
There's a lot more thought. It feels like it goes into the people who's actually putting a lot more thought into it. There's a lot more passion behind it. Versus something that has a budget like this, it gives you you're going to have a bigger window for failure. The margin, I think it's like the bigger the budget, the margin for error, it's going to be the very thin line margin of error. And with considering Rings of Power's budget, there's barely a margin.
The problem with budget is this also, Makini, is that when your budget is that big, you're already telling me you're focused more on the CGI and that aspect than you are on the actual writing. Because if your writing was really good, you can do like season 1 Game of Thrones, where there was barely any. There was barely any. There was no, except for the dragon at the very end, really, and the White Walkers with some makeup at the beginning. It was mostly, just a story that was on site. They went to locations. And I'll take that over what we're going to get most likely in the next
House of the Dragon.
In a heartbeat, yeah.
Well, real quickly, this is the poster from Born of Hope, which is a fan project, right? And it essentially talks about the Ring of Baronier, and it goes into that. So thank you, Ram Bam, for bringing that to everybody's attention.
That's good.
It was. This is a follow-up project. It looks like it was in 2009, directed by Kate Madison. It was.
There's multiple ones with this same actor because I know I saw one of these. I don't know if it's Born of Hope though.
Yeah, but based on the appendices of Tolkien's 54 and 55. So there you go. So if you want something actually based on the appendices, it looks like this might be the film for you. So thank you for that, Bam. Appreciate it. Ram Bam 3000. We've got Sporking News Podcast has been a member for a year.
Is Thomas here? Is Thomas here? Is he the one that put that up there?
No. Anyway, he says, he says, what a great looking panel. Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was really just talking about myself, but you guys are
we know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have final thoughts on this because we can talk about this for a while. But Mighty Orbots asked the relevant question: just how bad is this thing gonna suck? Well, that's a good question.
This is going to be, when September rolls around, this will be the new Last Jedi.
It will be.
This will be the new TLJ because people will talk about it.
It'll be worse.
Will it spark another like TFM out of it?
Probably.
We don't know, but
worse.
It's going to the talk that we've had around TLJ, that film that I can't believe I said it again, but the talk around that film was astronomical. The same thing is going to be this, and in Scott's case, it will probably be worse. No, especially with the talk behind it.
It's not even just that, though, and I'll just say my piece on this. It's think about this: Star Wars is one of the biggest global beloved franchises in the world. Tolkien, you can get a master's degree and be a Tolkien expert. You could be, you could then go to another college and teach Tolkien. There is actual degrees in this. This is a different level. When you attack something that's based on people's careers and you're calling this, a faithful adaptation, you're going to see these liberal college people finally realize what we've been talking about for years. The attack on the fan, when all you're doing is trying to stay close to the canon. And then on top of that, you'll have fans that are just like the Star Wars fans, all from around the world. So now you have an actual collegiate force behind it, but also the normal fan.
Yeah,
it's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be insane.
Yep.
Yeah, except for all those Tolkien scholars are sellouts. Fuck those dudes.
It's OneRing.net. Sorry.
Oh well, hail to Tom Shippey. And that dude is the man.
Yeah. Yep, they fired him because he told them no, stick to the script, stick to the book, stick to the canon, and they got rid of him.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Well, I want to dive into some stuff, so we're gonna move on. Thank you for the great conversation. You guys were incredible. Oh no, we lost Nichelle Nichols today.
What?
News.
That sucks, man.
What?
Yes, no.
Oh. Man, what a downer.
Yeah. What's worse is that we're gonna get like Fat Tilly Uhura as the new Uhura.
We also lost basketball legend Bill Russell.
No.
What? No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad, man.
Me, we lost Bill Russell.
Man.
That's sad.
Man, stop breaking all this news. We're getting depressed.
No.
Yeah.
It's like 2016 all over again. We're just losing people left and right.
And like massive icons of, civil rights and things of that nature. I mean, they're two massive people in that world.
Man,
Right? Bill Russell. Bill Russell was the first
Absolutely.
player, head coach, black gentleman in the
Yeah.
NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, and he broke a lot of things. He was on that great team. They won a lot of rings.
Yes, they did.
He did a lot of other amazing things, and he was a legit civil rights advocate, not what we've got nowadays.
Right.
And then Nichelle Nichols, also barrier breaking. You're 100% right.
Massive.
Really very big. And if it wasn't for the great Dr. King to convince her to stick to Star Trek, we wouldn't be having all this.
One of the greatest stories any actor can have, when you have a civil rights icon like that saying that to her when she thought this might not be right for me and the people I represent, and he came back at her like, hell no, this is very important.
No, this is important.
Powerful, man, powerful.
Wow.
I just sent you a tweet, buddy, in the private chat. Just take a look at that. Yeah, when you have a second.
Okay.
Stallone went off.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
I didn't see this before. This was from yesterday. I guess.
we are going to be talking about this tonight. So
nice. Okay, cool.
The late night show is going to have this, which
right.
means when you get up in the morning, we'll be
yes.
on.
Yeah, I'll be up. Oh, shit.
But yeah, your work schedule sucks, bro.
It really does. That's why I have to become independently wealthy by my YouTube channel. So please subscribe.
So we did lose Nichelle Nichols, and we did. I don't even know. I mean, it's just a real bummer. She consider this. I mean, she acted up until the last few years. I mean, she was acting up until the last 3 years. I mean, she was in stuff up through 2019. So what a terrible thing. This is not a great day. We're finding out some really bad things. Makini, unfortunately, is going to have to dip out. So let me put the talent front and center.
Let me move this up. So I do, unfortunately. But there's good things. We got the show. That's it's going to be the first Makini Live where I post 1,000 in monetization, so I'm very happy about that. I haven't turned on super chats yet because I'm saving that for the 2-year anniversary stream. We're just gonna go 100% all out on that.
Just keep putting it on. Just leave it on, man.
No, man. No. My first super chat I want to be special, and I know people are going to be fighting to be able to do it. So
it's going to be great, man.
Sure.
But what we got today is we got Makini Live right after this, and it's going to be special guest Megan of the Noob Reviews is stopping by. This is just for her, so reimagine her as a superhero with this comic cover and all that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get into the geek, nerdy stuff, talk comics, talk everything. I look forward to seeing you guys there. This is going to be awesome. Thank you guys once again. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for last week. That was an unforgettable moment, and I pray I never forget that moment for the rest of my life. So,
well,
bye, y'all. Love y'all.
You deserved it based on the grind and everything else. So well done, my friend. Well done. And
I'll see you all over on Makini Live.
Do check out Makini Live a little later. He's got a great special guest in Megan Lee from her channel, so you can check that out. And obviously that drawing will get finished, so that's going to be exciting. In order to balance this and make my OCD fine, there we go. Okay. All right, now what do we got? We got I don't see a lot of sources for Nichelle Nichols yet, so let's pray that
on her official Facebook page. Her daughter posted it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah, Gary just posted too.
Man, I'm bummed. TZ Burton for $5 says, raise a glass to two classy people. Indeed.
Yep.
Well, it's more of a Stein, but yeah, sentiment that counts.
And
it's enough glass for 2 or 3 people.
And Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2 is something I didn't know. Nicole's sister was in Felicia Day's The Guild. I did not know that. Wow. Thanks for the info. Oh, we also had Wes with a member chat. Thanks, brother. I know you've been a member here longer than the 4 months represented in that member chat. So we will say it's been a couple of years that you've been a member. So thank you. And hail to the best chat on YouTube. We love you. And I concur those sentiments exactly. So
Absolutely.
wow, we've got subjects. So let's just dive into something else, right? Okay, so first of all, you're going to have people that are interested in some things and people that are not interested in things. And I think the problem is Hollywood no longer has their finger on the pulse of the audience and fans' interests, which is why we're getting this garbage. And
Yep.
that's part of it. The other part of it is they're inserting a bunch of political garbage that people don't want to watch. And so they're losing their fans. Well, in the case of, let's say, Warner Brothers with their superhero franchise stuff in DC, I think we're seeing that even more often than probably we would have an expectation of. See if I can bring up this article. I can. Here it is. DC League of Super Pets fetches $23 million opening for Warner's. I'm going to tell you all this right now, and you should know this was disappointing. This started $10 million behind Minions previews on Thursday. This thing had 2.4 million, I think, if they're being nice, in their previews versus 10.7 something for Minions. Substantially different. They were expected. It looks like Friday they had a 9.3, so they're going to have a $23 million opening in 4,300 theaters. Look at this reporting. Solid result. Okay, they're comparing it to a film nobody heard about from DreamWorks called The Bad Guys, which rocked 23.95 million, and it's still going to overperform this.
That's insane.
This is how bad this is, right? If you're in Hollywood right now, you start to do comparisons, and I like comparisons. Everybody, I love it. We have here's a comparison. Boom. So now we have these films. We have DC League of Super Pets, Lightyear, The Bad Guys, and Minions, right? I did this for a reason.
Right.
Look at Minions on an $80 million budget.
Dang.
Wow.
These are just domestic box office numbers.
Minions badass. So, yeah, I see it.
Okay. This is Light Beer.
Oh, no. It went worse than Lightyear. Oh, no. That's a bad guy. Okay. Yeah. Huh.
So this thing hit day 30 and was the most flatline thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like the definition of flatline right there.
Yeah. And then you have The Bad Guys. Again, a completely new property. That's 100 days in. It's got
I don't even know that one. What is that? Bad Guys.
It was an animated film.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know that one. Yeah,
And
that
then-
was actually decent.
Yeah. So 3 days in, Bad Guys is outperforming this other one, which is the DC League of Superboard, 23 million. So I don't know how you quantify this, right? I mean, Rise of Gru was in 4,300 cinemas, for almost 4,400. DC League of Super Pets was in 4,300 cinemas. I don't know why it wasn't in more, because there's not a lot of competition for screens. Other than, because Thor isn't exactly breaking the bank, which is the whole point we're covering this first, because I want to get to the MCU and its colossal failure. But look, Minions, The Rise of Gru, $80 million. Lightyear, $200 million. Okay? When it all comes out in the wash, when you look at how much these things earn whatever, right? And there is nothing here that shows me that, this $41 million box office so far for DC League of Super Pets, which I think, although I can't find a reported budget, I think it was in between Minions and Lightyear. As far as budget goes, you only have for Lightyear, by the time you get done writing, including the international box office, $214 million. It's a colossal failure. This thing lost them $100 million plus.
Oh my God.
Okay.
When will that be enough though, man? Like,
I don't know. I mean, when money becomes even harder to get, because again, these films were made during the free money times. You know,
Right,
if
right.
you know, this film, right? The bad guys made, this is global numbers, 244 million, right? This bad guys film outperformed Lightyear.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then Minions right now internationally 710 million.
Well, you know, in Lightyear, it was the film no one asked for.
Yeah.
And no one really wanted.
This is a $500 million winner right here in profit, in windfall, for the Rise of Gru. So, you know, again, always compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Don't compare apples and oranges. Doesn't work, right? So, you know, when you look at the numbers and you break it down, you know, these films, if they're good, people will see them. If they've got garbage in them, or if the audience doesn't trust you, they're not going to go to the theaters. Does anybody have any other thoughts on that? Because I want to move on to the MCU, and I want to get all of our thoughts with this done. Wes, any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know what the point of light beer was. You know, I think that, you know, it would be great if I had a money printing machine. I think we all should. I mean, why should that only be the purview of the Fed, right?
Right. You're absolutely right, man. They're too big. All these companies are most likely too big to fail anyways, so why do they care?
Yeah. Just, I mean, remember when they were buying seats for Captain Marvel, Disney ones?
Right.
Okay, so let's get into what I call diminishing returns, shall we?
Shall we?
Shall we?
Charlemagne.
Let's do it.
All right. You know, that the story of Charlemagne's an interesting one. I'm surprised nobody's made a new film based on that.
Right, man.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting one.
I think you could do it. But look, okay, so apples to apples again, folks. Just MCU, or in this case, MCU.
Okay.
Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange, Eternals, Shang-Chi, and Black Widow.
It's
right?
not it's Shang-Chi. Don't
Just
forget
an aside here, Joe Biden told Charlemagne that if you didn't vote for him, you weren't black.
That is true, man. That is true.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wrong
here we are.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Different Charlemagne, but yeah, no. Yeah. So okay. Here we are. We have current MCU, right? And I wanted to do side by side in fair order, right?
Uh-huh.
Fair order. Okay. So Black Widow comes out July 9th, 2021. $200 million budget. This is the thing I love to focus on. It's in 4,160 theaters.
Yep.
You know, it opens to $80 million and another probably 83 or so in direct purchases on the convoluted.
Oh, right. That's right.
Access thing. Right. So, but overall, it's reported domestic box office was $183
How's that possible?
million dollars. Well, it earned another $100 million along the way.
Oh, you're saying overall. I'm sorry. My bad.
So its worldwide box office accumulation was $379 million. So let's call it 380. 380 on a $200 million budget, you lost money.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after you settle with the actress, her lawsuit. Yep. So this film didn't make money. And we know it didn't make money based on the 10Q, but I don't get into that, right?
Right.
Okay. Then we had the Legends of the Ten Rings.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that film. At a $150 million budget. It opened in more theaters, 4,300. Had more engagements, about 3,000 more engagements. Domestic opening weekend was under Black Widow at $75 million.
Because we're all racist.
Yeah. Its overall run, which was lengthier than Black Widow, was $224 million. Globally, this thing made $432 million, right? On a $150 million budget, this thing may have cracked a little bit of a profit.
Right. I was going to say that too.
There was a lot of partner push as far as advertising goes. So it's hard. It would be hard to outline the spend here. But if I looked at the numbers, if it didn't get like a 2.6 or 2.7 multiple, then my guess is it didn't break even. If it got in that range, it probably did break even and make a profit. So, but I'd have to look back at that. Now, let's look at the Maternals. $200 million budget, only in 4,000 theaters, shorting themselves on a more expensive period of time, shorting themselves in total number of theaters with 4,090. They had a domestic opening weekend. Again, look at this. 71 million, 80 million, 75 million, 71 million.
Crazy. And
then we go down to the bottom. 402. It made less than Eternals.
And go up one more time. What how many theaters was it was in?
These are the opening theaters.
All right,
and
I'm just wondering
theaters.
that. Yeah, okay.
Oftentimes these numbers are the same, or most times, but sometimes they're different. Like it opens in a smaller
like
group
Black Widow,
and
Black
then goes wide. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it opens more widely, I should say.
Yeah, look how little. Now that came out after Black Widow, correct?
Yeah, so we can look at the dates here. So you had Black Widow was July 9th.
Okay, so
then September.
Yep.
Then November.
So they can't even use, that virus of unnamed origins to blame it on.
Right.
For that, the poor showing at the theaters for, once again, a movie about comic book characters that many people just didn't know and didn't really care to see on screen, and definitely done wrong.
Right. Yeah. And O.C. Dobbins said something in the chat that's brilliant, by the way. Doctor Strange and the multiverse of marketing. So there you go. That's true. Right. Lots of different things. And Joker Voice says, according to VR, theaters penalize studios like Marvel for pulling films early to go to streaming. So domestic take 45%, foreign 38%. Oh. Yeah. By the way, that's why I've adjusted my multiple to 4.8. Excuse me. 2.8. That's why if a film doesn't make a multiple of 2.8, it's not going to be profitable. So, but it's based on that. Take a film's budget, multiply by 2.8. That's the break-even point, roughly. So that's why I made my adjustments too. Rugo Bettis is Wanda is such a popular character. They made a movie about her and called it Doctor Strange. That's right.
I haven't seen Rugo in a while. Yeah, that is brilliant because it really was. It was all about her.
Yeah, and Rugo, thanks for being a longtime member. Appreciate it. And then we've got a Gojira Star who says Task Mistress, not Task Master. Wrong. It was only Task Mistress for 2 scenes.
Yeah, and less than 25% still for those 2 scenes.
That's right.
That movie really sucked.
Oh my God, it was terrible. And then you know what pissed me off even more? You have 2 beautiful women in the main role, and you had Johansson wearing yes, it's tight. She's supposed to be selling her sexuality. That's how she.
She's a femme fatale. That's
exactly.
Part of the business.
Looking gorgeous, and then you have another beautiful woman that you make look frumpy.
Oh yeah,
frumpy.
How do you do that to her? Right?
Unbelievable.
No. It looks like diaper pants is what that looks like. Yeah, it's like, or MC Hammer pants. That's what
parachute.
Yeah, not good.
Not good at all.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. So we get to Mom. Let's talk about Mom.
Yeah.
Mom cost $200 million. That's a nice mom.
Yeah.
34 theaters, 29,000 theatrical engagements. Look at the engagements going up.
Insane.
Right? It opened to a good number, 187,420.
Right.
Overall domestic 411, and I will be honest, this is higher than I thought. I thought it wouldn't cross 900 million. It made 954.
Wow.
It's making no more money because it's already on streaming.
Right.
It didn't cross $1 billion. There's another theme to go along with this, and again,
right,
it's that none of these are consistent with the characters. It's a bait and switch. Every single one of these things.
Yes.
Has been, a bait and switch, modernity, the modern politics, all of that, right?
And also culture. It's no longer, you got a Marvel movie? That's $1 billion movie.
Yeah, can't do that anymore.
Can't do that anymore.
No. You're 100% right. And finally, let's get to the most recent one. And I'm going to say it, kids. Flop. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It cost $250 million.
Wow. I wish they used some of that money on chemistry.
Or just the film. It opened in fewer theaters than Doctor Strange. It had fewer theatrical engagements so far. Of course, that's just a matter of time, right? It hasn't been in theaters as long. It opened to a softer, again, diminishing return again, 144,165. Domestic, it's only so far squeaked to 301. It only squeaked, well, I'm not going to do it. It's only squeaked to 360 globally.
Jeez.
And it just barely crossed the threshold of 662 million. This film will underperform my $750 to $800 million prediction.
And you said that, yeah. You were definitely. I'm shocked it will underperform that. I thought you were lowballing. Unbelievable, man.
I don't know what to do with this. I mean, it was already a loser out of the gate, and its fall off has been tremendous, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of these films established MCU incredibleness is competing with, let's face it, Tom Cruise.
Right.
Tom Cruise film, 1.3 billion. It's about all of these amazing things. It's about all of these amazing things, these amazing superheroes, and yet Tom Cruise beats you because it's a better story.
Yep.
It honors the previous films better. It honors the fans. Tom Cruise comes out before the film and tells you, this is for you, the fans.
Brilliant.
Thanks for making this happen.
Yep, brilliant marketing from him. Like he saw where it was going, and he decided, you know what, I'm hitching my tail to the other side because he knows the tide is turning. It has to. You don't have throwaway money. These companies don't have it anymore. They have to start saying, okay, we got to listen to these people a little bit more.
It doesn't. None of this made any sense to me, so I had to bring up the numbers once again. It's a constant diminishing return. You bring out a more popular hero, Doctor Strange, you don't make $1 billion. You bring out the most popular and final Avenger, Thor, and you're not going to make $1 billion on a $250 million film.
Unbelievable.
It's not going to make a profit. And by the way, the arguments for people telling you that streaming services are, going to gallon some interest, no. You might retain the subscribers you have. People are not subscribing to Disney Plus to watch Mom or Thor.
Right.
They're not. The last thing people were interested in subscribing to Disney Plus for was actual Star Wars. And that's now out the window. Based on reports, could you imagine if they actually lose Favreau?
Unbelievable, man.
Anyway, anybody else have
thoughts? I blame him for wanting to take off.
Yeah.
But there is a point of diminishing returns.
Too late. You should have left a long time ago. That would saved the reputation. Now it's ruined.
Yeah. Okay,
this is 100% true, folks. Even BlackRock lost 1.7 trillion. That's a T, kids. $trillion this last year.
That's crazy. BlackRock lost that much?
Not only that, they are lined up along with a lot of these other enormous entities like Vanguard, Blackstone, all these other folks. They're lined up to lose $9 trillion because of China.
Think of them as the private sector equivalent of the deep state.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, except that that's money. That's investor money on top of all that. They're going there. Okay, so this is the interesting facts most people don't know. I don't usually dive into them because most people run away from me when I start talking about numbers. But China is 70% real estate and financial services.
Yep.
That's it. That's what their current economic model is built upon, much like our economic model way back in the 07, 08 time. When
how'd that work out?
Well, I don't know, Wes. That was not a party, right?
Yeah, I hopped off of the Lusitania onto the Titanic in 2007, so,
Oops.
Yeah.
Rough times. Rough times. Hey, buddy, I got to bounce, though.
All right, dude,
I
I
gotta
love
get
that
going
you
as
joined us,
well. I have
Scott.
to do
Thanks for being
adulting.
with us.
Speaking of,
Yeah, I appreciate you having me
no
on.
problem. Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on. I love all
see
these
you guys.
people. It's been awesome, but I got to go, and I'm shocked
Yeah,
I was
Dad.
able to sneak on for right now. So thank you so much, buddy. I'll see you hopefully next week on the dump. You'll be on the panel.
Oh, yeah. No,
All right.
I had familial obligations.
All right. I love
Bye,
you,
man.
man. Thank you.
Love you
Good
guys.
seeing you guys.
Yeah.
Good. Glad to meet you. See
Yeah,
ya.
you too, brother.
And
Bye.
Wes has to bounce too, it sounds like. Is that true?
I do, unfortunately. Yeah. So, a point of diminishing returns, on the box office, just closing thoughts here.
Yeah.
I think also maybe there might be a point of diminishing returns on our fan backlash because, you already had The Last Jedi. You already had the dang it. Why am I brain farting? Game of Thrones, Star Trek. I mean, at some point, there's just going to be like whatever. And I think the backlash that you're seeing at this point are people like Mirasphere and myself and Ripa and other folks in our network that are just like, F it, let's make our own stuff. And, from what I've heard from everybody and seen from everybody, our stuff is way better. So screw them. We don't need them.
And I agree with you, and you're 100% right. And everything that you're working on, I'm so looking forward to, and everything this guy did, you should be checking it out. So we have really talented people in our sphere, and we're very lucky. But do check out Wes's new channel, whatever cast, or from his new employer. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Whatever guy is a shadowy overlord, but he's a shadowy overlord with a heart. So hope to see you there. YouTube.com/whatevercastofficial.
That's right.
Yep.
Thanks, brother.
You got it. Thank you for having me.
See you later.
See you, man.
Well, and then there were 3, but we're going to wrap the show in about the next 20 minutes anyway. So let's do this. Let's get Small Time Republic's member chat that says Ivan Drago versus Parking News. Who would win? I don't think I think Ivan has reach, so I would say probably Ivan. What do you guys say? Anything?
I don't know what that is.
Rocky, Ivan Drago.
Yeah, I never watched Rocky.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah,
I don't like sweaty, big, macho guys.
Wow.
I know, I'm awful. Sorry, all you sweaty, big, macho guys.
It's a shame. Real shame. Let's see. So you're going to start to see, just back to these China things, and then we're going to roll on to our last topic. You're about to see, because the financial markets, if you notice that you've been hearing a little bit about some bank issues in a particular country across the ocean in Asia, and you've seen them saber rattling because there's money there's money in conflict. Well, their economy is in big, huge, bad trouble.com. And again, there's a lot of financial investment through a lot of these equity investors, hedge funds, etc., that are in there to the tune of $7 to $9 trillion. So when Evergrande fails, when all of these other real estate entities fail, by the way, China's pumping them with $1 trillion worth of support money right now. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
So let's get back
Way to be an upper.
Yeah, thank you. So Pinochet's helicopter tours sends us a super shot for $5. Says, you think Cruz will make a bigger play? Remember his coup freak out? Insulating himself from Hollywood, showing safe productions for movies fans want. Yeah, I think he's going to make a bigger play. But look, we're looking at Mission Impossible, the next 2, The Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2. We're looking at those being huge now. He's back, and I think he might dive into the production side of things. He may start his own studio distribution. He's got enough money; he can do it, especially since he's still got a first dollar front deal with Paramount for the next 2 films. I think it's quite possible. It's quite possible. So, yeah, Lionsgate should definitely be calling up Ripa to sign a deal. You're 100% right, OC Robbins. Especially since if they're trying to align themselves, because STX is like falling apart. They like laid off a bunch of people. They're closing their UK office, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's a possibility as well. And this is a lot of inside baseball people don't care about, but that is what it is. And yes, Grifter, we just talked about the loss, the terrible loss of our beloved Nichelle Nichols. So it was not great news today. I did not know that. Jerry Mendoza, excuse me. Jerry Mendoza. I did not know that. Did not know that. So what cause Rocky go off and yell at people? Well, Adam Wofford. We're going to be talking about this tonight on the late night culture stream because I'm hopefully Tom will be there. This will be a subject that we'll be talking about for the next couple of days. I imagine you'll see it on Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow morning as well. Yeah, there's a lot behind it. Not only that, Tom got a like and a communication from the Sly Man himself. So
nice.
Yeah. I just heard about Nichols just now on your stream. Bummed now. Well, thanks, Matt Vader. I wasn't trying to bum you out. We also lost Bill Russell, the famous basketball player.
I like that. We're not trying to bum you out. By the way, did you know this person died too?
Yeah, let me just serve up the happy chant. Okay, last but not least, something amazing happened yesterday, right? And this is a continuing cycle of amazing. So let's end on a high note, everyone, shall we? I think we should. From Houston yesterday, there was a panel. Heck, there's been a convention. There's been an amazingness that's known as Anime Matsuri. And there was many panels yesterday. You had a Nick Rekieta panel, and then that was followed up by an FNT panel. There were lots of other panels there. The Rippaverse,
Geeks and Gamers.
The Rippaverse. You can see this is their official Reddit community, and there they are. This is the Rekieta Law panel at Anime Matsuri, or the quote unquote YouTuber panel, and then right after that, you had the FNT panel. And these things were glorious to watch. You can still find them, Geeks and Gamers channel. The next time I see Jeremy, we're gonna talk audio because the audio was no bueno. But we'll work on that. Hopefully, I can talk him into some stuff. But this is an important thing, right? This whole room is packed full. Just to see people in our sphere, in our sector, in our corner of the internet. Their opportunity to see people like Eric July of the Rippaverse, to see Gary Nerdrive, to see Comics Division, to see Ryan, RK Outpost, to see Nick Rekieta, and another one of the legal minds there. Mm-hmm. It was incredible. It really was. It was far too short. So
it was really fun. Yeah, it was kind of sad when it ended. I was like, "Oh man, they're already over."
Matt Vader, I was wondering what Drunk was doing. He was sitting on the end. Nobody was talking to him, so he was like dinking on his phone. So
he made a comment where he's like, "I finally got an FNT, yay!"
It was very funny. I didn't make the thumbnail. It's so funny, but I just thought that this was kind of a neat thing because this was all over the place. The FNT panel was, just wonderful. All of this stuff speaks volumes to how much influence we're having in the sphere, whether it be me, which I'm a tiny little influence, right? I know that. I've got 160 of you here in the chat. I appreciate your support. You guys have no idea, but we're growing leaps and bounds in all of the other areas that we touch, and everybody around us is growing. And that's because people are discovering real conversation, real entertainment, real things, again, authentic things. And that's a good thing. Yeah, Ripa was sitting next to Ryan. That's right, TZ Burton for $2. Man, they were flipping out. Ryan made a joke yesterday that apparently landed on some people the wrong way. And Ryan's response
holy crap.
Yeah, Ryan's like, meh. Happens.
Yeah, honestly, that the way I look at this is has Ryan ever not said anything that he's gone and apologized for? He's pretty non-denominational on offending people. So it's like being surprised by something coming out of his mouth. Nah.
Yeah. And Soul Assassin says, look forward to when FNT has their own con. I think we're not far away from that. I think you're going to see kind of the beginning fledgling aspect of that, a bigger thing for more people at the Orlando meetup, right? That Orlando meetup is kind of going to be the kickoff point for bigger fan events that are specifically oriented around our little sector of the internet.
I wish I could go to that too, but it's like right on Halloween.
Always offend everybody. Yeah. Ryan doesn't care about those people. That's right. He doesn't care. What?
No, he's a vet. He doesn't go shoot shit.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. He's like, I fought for the country. But regardless, I just wanted to point out that there is good going on. There is support for it. It's not fraudulent like the empty internet that we're subjected to all the time, full of bots and paid naysayers, et cetera, et cetera. There is real tangible audience for what we do. And I say thank you to each and every one of you because you were part of that. You're part of being my audience, which I value. You're part of being AFK's audience when AFK bothers to do things. And you're part of this man's audience when you hear him, talk on a video or you read his book, those are important things. And, it's amazing. Rambam says, I'd love to come, but I'm not sure what to do on the other days. There's a lot to do in the Orlando area. Universal Studios Orlando is an amazing place as they continue to expand. You can go and visit NASA, which is about a 90-minute to 2-hour drive from Central Florida, Central Orlando. You can go and check out this Kennedy Space Center and check out what's on the pad. And, you can walk and gawk at a space shuttle. And you can, go see some amazing IMAX presentations. Very well worth your time. Incredible museum atmosphere in the open. I mean, it's amazing. You can go to Gatorland. Lorena Creole and I were talking about some things that we were going to do. I'm going to personally be spending a couple days at the beach, either before or after all of the shenanigans. So we'll see. Can't drive. You don't have to. There are shuttles that will take you to the Space Center. You can you probably catch a ride with other humans. It's not that hard. Believe me, we are a very friendly community. I have met no one that I would so far. I'm saying it that way. That I would be adverse to hanging out with again. I love hanging out with everybody. You guys are great.
I really want to go, but it's right on Halloween, and there's no way my wife's gonna let me go.
Rogue, it depends on traffic, brother. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I'm looking very coolly at these opportunities, and I can't wait to be a part of them in the future. And if offered the opportunity, I would have my own booth at any one of these meetups, just because, especially since I got to start offering merch for both channels now. Beyond that, I think the PA system at all the cons sucks. Rocks very. I know it's pretty regular, but I could fix it. Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of off-convention side events. Fellowship Beach Party sounds great, Ironcaster, indeed. Halloween is a priority. It is. And Halloween Horror Nights is something I will be doing. So there you go. Comicsgate should have their own con, or they should be part of these cons. There's a lot of audience crossover between our little corner and the Comics Central corner. Indeed. Yep. I mean, I'd love something like that. Indeed. Yeah, but with all that being said, I'm going to say this. I'm looking forward to any opportunity to get together with all of you guys. And so, if I can make it to an event, I'm going to. And it doesn't matter what part of the country it's in. Or internationally. Heck, I would go to stuff internationally. Thanks for swatting the bot 6. I appreciate that. So let's do this. Let's get everybody out of here so you can go check out Machini stream. Go check out Machini draws. It looks like he's doing some great stuff, and Megan Lee's going to be over there, so you can check out the Noobs reviews and everything that she has to say, which is awesome. And with that, what you got going on, Mirster?
Oh, I don't got much. I got to start making more videos and stuff. But I did my, of course, my book is out. the other day I did a live stream. I talked a little bit of my lore. I'm going to keep doing that kind of stuff. Hopefully, when I get a chance, and hopefully get on some more channels. I know Comics Division talked to me a little bit, but he said that Talks to Manflu is supposed to get a hold of me. Hopefully, he gets a hold of me soon. That was like 3 weeks ago. So
he will. Yeah, just keep your eye out for his DM.
So I'm looking for him, and then there's a couple other channels I'm trying to get on, and trying to keep spreading. And then I'm gonna start working on my next book. So,
Indeed. Yeah, I'm with you, Ram Bam. EVS could found his own con. He would make bank. Indeed. Get real comic book artists all together again. Indeed. Speaking of talents, AFK Bard, despite many declarations of the opposite, has talent. I can't wait to see AFK Bard do more stuff. How's it going?
I'm pretty good at not doing stuff right now.
Yeah, man, do some more stuff.
Yeah, no, it's going great. And thanks again for letting me be on here. I just want to give props. I know the sound wasn't, the best for the convention stuff, but My Nerdy Home and Krista, I wanted to thank them for carrying the phone around and actually live streaming the stuff there. So it was better than not being there. So thanks.
There you go. And there's the link, everybody, to Makani Draw's channel. Do check that out. We want to do a culture raid if you can. Give the guys some support. And Matt Fader's reminding you, 2 weeks to Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby. That's right. And on that note, you are the best. And I'm glad you're here. You're a Muslim uncle. Assalamu alaikum, my friend. Unfortunately, we'd already seen this news and it was terrible. So, but with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up, everybody. I hope you have a great day. I hope you check out the late night culture stream this evening. Random panelists, random subjects, random thoughts, and usually a pretty good time. You can also check out Welcome to Florida on Lorena Creel's channel coming up in just a few hours. That's always fun. That's before the late night culture stream. And wherever you go and wherever you are, be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Peace.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Here's the credits.